Yeah, we might be able to ride this out.
Man.
So
They can ride this motherfucker out.
Triz, I wanted to have a conversation with you because, me and Lloyd, we talked about Michael.
Mm-hmm.
We had a little discussion about Michael.
A little discussion.
You were off being a family man, so now that you're here, can we get your official reaction to Michael? Because it sounded like he was a little more forgiving than us.
Yeah.
It's kind of what Lloyd alluded to.
I mean, I thought it was entertaining.
Well,
It was very entertaining, but I thought the story wasn't good. I was lenient when I gave my initial 5 on the story, but it was too much missing even for it to be a 5. It just
that a 5 out of 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was for just the story.
That was just for the story.
Because the overall
But see,
was a different
it
score.
was three grades that I gave. It was entertaining, and I felt like everybody did a great performance in it, so that pushed it higher. But the story, it took it away. Like the story took it away. It was too much not told that they should have been able to, put light on in his childhood, the Motown days and things like that. But we ain't get none of that. We just got a little singing nigga, an older singing nigga, and about to be that nigga. And then the movie stopped.
And then it was like,
he looked back and it's like, yep, that's it.
But
His history continues.
People was in the theater like it was a Marvel movie, like we was going to get an end credit scene.
Waiting.
And I was like,
but the applause threw me. Like the applause. So me, I saw it twice, like I mentioned. The first time I saw it, it was empty. Second time I saw it, was quite a few people in there. The applause at the end, I was like, we watched the same movie. No shade though, but
no, very much so. Very much so. Like you mentioned, entertaining. I was entertained because I'm like, it's Mike. How they gonna recreate these moments? I feel like with these movies, Bohemian Rhapsody, the Whitney joint, what else did they do recently? Anyway, with those movies, that's the backbone of those movies. Is like, oh look, we replicated this big moment that you remember, and it's nostalgic, and look how close we got to it. And it's like, all right, but there's no substance.
But I thought the nigga had a sister named Janet.
No, he did not.
Apparently.
And he
He had 2 sisters, didn't he?
No.
3?
Yeah,
He had 3 sisters. Yeah, he had 3. I only seen
Reeby's
one.
the old.
Yeah.
I think she's the oldest child. Their firstborn.
Yeah.
Gone. The baby gone. And then the other 4 niggas just random niggas in the background, no name niggas.
Playing basketball.
I'm like,
listen.
I don't know.
How do you tell somebody's life story and not include a sibling that was there?
A big sibling at that.
So obviously she declined to be a part of it. But I'm saying I wonder on what grounds, like what reason, because she felt that the story wasn't told properly.
I sent y'all something. I believe it was what it truly was. Could have been some bullshit in this day and age, but it was said that she felt that the brother was trying to capitalize and also in a selfish way propel his son into the industry.
Oh, Jermaine.
First of all, everybody's capitalizing on Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Like we just heard the Sexy Red record where I'm glad they shut that shit down, first of all.
Man, listen.
She sampled Beat It and she did the Weird Al Yankovic route, Eat It. Oh my God, bro, horrible. I'm sorry. Horrible. And I'm glad the estate shut that down. Absolutely not. But the thing is, it was leaked this out there, so it can still, make its rounds. But people are going to capitalize on the Michael Jackson name until the end of time. But being upset that, somebody's trying to put on the next generation of the family, be it on the back of, who else back was it going to be on? Yours?
It wasn't his goddamn daddy, I tell you that.
It wasn't going to be his daddy. It wasn't going to be Janet.
Yeah.
Nah.
So who else name could propel anybody else? Tito?
But the
Marlon?
thing is, he was good. He was great. It would have been one thing.
Right, if he was trash.
It would have been one thing if he was horrible.
If he showed up like Flex, we could have had a conversation.
It's like, all right.
But he did his job. Looked like him. Sound like him. Performed, Like, bro, I'm sorry. Dancing like Mike, we see people do it all the time. It's only a couple people be like, damn, that's actually good.
Yeah.
That motherfucker was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't understand it obviously, unless there's some internal conflict that we just don't know about. But yet and still,
like,
don't shit on don't rain on the nephew parade. You know what I'm saying? Man did a wonderful job.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. All right. So yeah, continue with your
my
your
bad.
Your breakdown.
No. So I mean, like, entertaining. You know what I'm saying? I gave that a high score. The performance is a high score, but like the story, it just, like I was saying, the story didn't do it for me. It was too many moments that missed. Like, there should have been way more time spent with Quincy Jones.
That was one of my biggest pet peeves. Where the fuck is Quincy?
We seen him twice maybe?
I think so. In at the house, and then the other time where they were having a conversation, and then the other time where he was, I think, just in the booth, not in the booth,
in
but
the control room, in the studio room. Yeah.
And then even with Barry Gordy, like, there should have been way more.
You hired Lorenz fucking Tate, but to film for 2 minutes. Get the fuck out of here.
Because I feel like there were a lot of moments that we could have had in that kind of defined who he was. You know, like, show, you know, what he came to be, like the stuff that went into making Michael Jackson. And we didn't get that. We got performances.
Yeah.
And
you got surface level. You got the Wikipedia.
And the story was not even about the man, Michael Jackson.
It wasn't about even becoming Michael.
No, it was about a guy trying to get from under his dad's reign.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he did, it was like, it's about to take off, and then the credits rolled.
Yep. I told Lloyd, I wanted more of the psychology of Michael Jackson. And if obviously he's lived a very storied life that you cannot cram into a 2-hour movie.
Right.
So if your goal is to limit that to 2 hours, then just give me a moment in time. Give me the making of Thriller. What was that process between him and Quincy? Or shit, give me the time between Bad and Dangerous where he decided, fuck you, Quincy, I'm gonna go holler at Teddy. Give me something.
Right, what went into that thought?
Like, what went into that? You know, that's at least some kind of peek behind the curtain, but this was just, you can see all this shit on YouTube.
I mean, the thing is, people sat down 3 hours to watch Titanic, to watch The Irishman. If you don't think they was gonna watch a Michael Jackson movie, like, then you crazy as hell.
Well, you almost had me fall off the cliff when you mentioned that.
You said watch The Irishman. I looked at him. I'm like, well, we know one person that did.
But you know what I mean? Like, if people would sit down and you think people not gonna sit and watch that Michael Jackson movie?
We watch American Dream. What, every year? That's 18 hours.
Hell, the JFK movie that came out back in the day, that shit was like 4 hours.
So that's why I'm like, yeah.
I was excited for it, but like I said, even though I was thoroughly entertained, I feel like they kind of shit the bed with it.
Yeah, they did. And now they're filming a sequel, which I thought was already in the can.
Right.
So I'm kind of confused by that. Like, what are we about to get? And is Antoine coming back? Like, I would not be coming back after.
If you were Antoine?
No.
See, and I read something that said, and I think that was part of what you said earlier, that he would be upset if they let somebody else do it other than him.
I wouldn't want to come back. They didn't let you make the movie that you seemingly wanted to make.
But now we're getting into the highlights. Like, I ain't even gonna say, because that's what the movie was. The movie was a highlight
reel. Yeah.
But, you know, me, if I don't get to do anything else, I'm gonna do Remember the Time. Whatever part of the movie that's what I want to do. I want to show how we went into that, the rehearsals, just the conversations he was having around creating this idea. And then y'all can bring in another director. But nobody gonna get that one from me.
But then even talking about, you brought up directors, bringing up the directors that he worked with. Like, you know, you got Spike Lee, you got John Singleton,
Scorsese.
You know what I mean? And we get none of that. It's just, put the shit on MTV or we done doing business with y'all.
Yep.
Did y'all know that was Michael fucking Myers?
While watching it. While watching it, I did not.
I had no.
As soon as he came on, I was
clue.
like, "That's Mike Myers," because he keep doing that shit. He popped up in, I think it was Bohemian Rhapsody.
He snapped.
I was on Threads. I said, "What the fuck?"
I had no clue.
And he popped up in I think it was Inglourious Bastards. But he's been like just making little cameos. They put him in some makeup, and he's just been popping up in cameos. And I'm like,
it was.
Because the camera held on him for a minute before he spoke, and
he was
I'm
like slouched in that chair.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's Mike Myers, I think.
I did not pick that up.
Me either.
Yep. When I saw that shit, I said, well, I'll be.
I'm glad they included that moment, though.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah. But this feeds into my problem with how they do our stories. You know, it's just the Wikipedia, the shit that you can look up on YouTube. There's no real insight. You know, we only get a few great ones. Ray, I personally love Straight Outta Compton. I thought that was good. I love that movie. What's Love Got to Do with It? I think is a good one. Why Do Fools Fall in Love? I think is a good one. And then
see, but now if you go back to Straight Outta Compton, because learning after the film was released, Junior did a lot of shit that they said was not supposed to be in the film. They didn't want to put in the film. They weren't going to have in the film. And then even in the editing of it, they were going to cut a lot of it. And he fought for a lot of shit to stay in the film. So we almost would have probably got an incomplete film or been missing a lot of those moments that really, you know, catered to us and what NWA really meant to the culture had he not been present and, you know, spoke his voice, even though that's basically his introduction to the game, like as the lead man to really take that picture on. And if he wouldn't have spoke up, ain't no telling what picture we would have got from there. Because when I said, like, damn, they was going to cut that. Oh, they was going to get rid of this.
Him saying they were going to cut the scene where he went in there and smashed the officer with the bat.
Really? And then he was only supposed to smash certain shit, and he just got to tearing shit up. But it made it what it was. Authentic. It made that scene authentic. Because, you know, Easy wasn't going in that motherfucker thinking. I mean, Cube wasn't going in that motherfucker thinking, oh, but let me not damage this.
No.
Fuck that. Tear everything up in this bitch. Yeah. And that's what we saw on screen. And that's why it resonated so well.
Yeah, I think the key is having the subject a part of it. It seems like when they're not involved, it really is just a cash grab at that point. It's like no one
sell the name.
It definitely is. I mean,
like we got the name, we give you a trailer, like we get excited, like with the Michael. It's like, okay, you see him doing some dancing and whatnot. It's like, damn, it looked like him. You get excited, and then you go and it's like,
and it's like, I get it. Like you wait for a while because when is the right time to make a biopic of someone? You know what I mean? Like who's next in line right now deserving of a biopic? You know, music, athlete, anything. Like who would be next in line from our culture?
Well, I was just thinking music. I would like to see Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
Marvin Gaye one.
Yeah, Marvin Gaye.
They definitely not gonna do a Marvin Gaye. I went into a
rabbit hole.
A rabbit hole. Yeah, we ain't never gonna get one of them. We ain't never gonna get one of them.
I'm gonna have to read up on it.
Yeah, go do a little. Man, one of the greatest vocalists of all time. I don't think we'll ever see that.
Okay.
But if they do, and y'all looking for somebody, Andreas Palmer.
Dog, you stupid.
Oh my
Y'all go find Andreas Palmer. Okay. That motherfucker looks just like Marvin Gaye.
I thought you was about to like call out a Hollywood actor.
No.
This nigga said,
I said, this nigga look we went just to school like with. Marvin Gaye.
I said, take it back to G House.
Hell no.
Straight up.
But before we jump into our battle today, you started watching $1 Million Secret.
I did. Yeah, I did.
God damn it! I meant to. Last time. What is that on?
Netflix. It's on Netflix.
I'm gonna check it out when I get in. That's the truth.
It's
so good though.
$1 Million Secret.
And it's such an easy watch. Like you don't have to think. Like what I like about it is you get home and like if you got time to put something on, that's something easy that you can just put on. You ain't got to think about it. You can step out, step in. But the shit be, yeah.
I find myself in the show as if I'm one of them. Like, all right,
all the time.
You got to go. Like,
all the
fuck
time.
You gotta
go. And how aren't you picking up on this clue? Like, oh, girl, quoting all the pop songs. I forget what the challenge was. So
it was at breakfast, yeah.
But I'm gonna catch Lloyd up. So we gonna take this detour real quick.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it.
$1 million. But I'm just giving you the setup. I'm giving you the setup because I want to.
You gave the setup.
It ain't gonna ruin nothing.
You talked about it before.
It ain't gonna ruin it.
Okay.
It's literally just. But okay, I did give the setup, but. You know, they have these missions. The millionaire has these missions that they have to act out throughout their time there. And if they succeed, they might get an extra vote. So whoever they decide to vote off, their vote counts twice.
Right, twice. Okay.
Or they just get to straight up eliminate somebody altogether. So one of the challenges, this chick had to quote, I want to say it was like 90s pop songs or something like that. Yeah. It was some... And
it was like 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah. But she ended up quoting like Justin Timberlake, TLC. And it was just so obvious, like they having breakfast and she like, don't go chasing waterfalls.
But you got to do it casually. Without music,
without
or lyrics to the song. Yeah.
And you might have to say it to every person in the house. So it's just like, you come up to me talking about some don't go chasing waterfalls. I'm instantly like, ding.
Yeah.
Why are you quoting TLC at me?
Right now.
Because I think of the Will Ferrell joint. He did a movie about, I think it was him and Mark Wahlberg where they played detectives and Michael Keaton was their captain, and all his inspirational sayings ended with a TLC quote. Yep. And Will Ferrell kept saying, "You're for sure quoting TLC." That's all that kept ringing in my head, and I'm like, y'all ain't picking up on it.
Yeah.
See, you just got to do that shit slick, and you don't do the obvious shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You're gonna get so mad watching.
I'm gonna check it out.
Get mad because
it's episodes.
The shit be obvious.
What is it? An hour?
45
minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna check a couple out today.
But they just started season 2, so I just started that one.
Okay, season 1.
And I feel like this is a better caliber of players because dude picked up on it instantly. He was like, I know what the challenge is. You were doing it. Caught his ass. I was like, oh shit, out the gate. Episode 1.
Okay.
But that's the kind of reality show I like. You know, the little competition that, you know, not all this who's sleeping with who and who fighting who. You know, I ain't got time for that. All right, welcome to the Lock Picture Podcast, where we discuss all things film and a little TV too. I'm your host, Marcus, and I got Triz and Lloyd in the building with me. And before we jump into anything, hit that subscribe button and join the Lock Picture Podcast family. Do that for us. All right, we're almost at the finish line of our battle for Best Black Lead Performance, and we will crown them with the Poitier Award for the ultimate Black Lead Oscar winner. Last time, Halle Berry was left outside of the winner's circle with her mama's people. If you know, you know. When Michael B. Jordan swept her to go on to the championship round, where he will face off with today's winner. And today's battle is a big one. We got 2 titans, 2 legends, 2 of the best that ever has done it. We got Denzel versus Jamie, Washington versus Fox, Alonzo Harris versus Ray Charles. Let's go. All right, gentlemen. So obviously, Training Day and Ray, 2 of the most rewatchable, talked about films. They've made it this far, so we've obviously had some things to say about these movies. Do we want to revisit initial reactions?
I don't think there's a
need.
I
don't think we need.
I don't think there's a need.
How do we want to? This is a little bit different. how do we want to start this conversation? Okay, Denzel and Jamie, where do they fall in your greatest actors list?
At the very top. Both of them.
1 and 2?
I would almost say 1 and 2. Just based on what they can do as far as versatility goes. I think when you're doing the job of acting, as we always refer to, you have to be able to embody many different types of people, many different walks of life, many different character arcs. You do all of that gracefully and seamlessly, and it doesn't need to look like you're acting or feel like you're acting. You need to just be it, be them. And man, it's almost impossible to find a better 1v1 in my book when you're talking about and me, and I'm gonna just tell you right now, I'm going to actually give the slight edge to Jamie. Because I would need to see.
We're not surprised.
No. You shouldn't be surprised, right? I told y'all Jamie is the GOAT. But I would need to see Denzel do more comedy.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen Jamie do it all. I would need to see Denzel do more comedy because in the comedy world, especially if you're talking about improv, if you're talking about scripted, whatever, I don't think he stands a chance against Jamie. So I don't think he can, especially not improv. But
improv is not just comedy.
But I'm talking comedy.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
I'm talking comedy.
I was about to say.
It's definitely because we know what he did in the film. It was improv, for sure.
He wrote another film on set.
Comedy.
Yeah.
But we've seen Jamie do everything you can imagine.
Right.
So to me, you could probably say one. It definitely ain't no probably. In my book, I've got Jamie, then I've got Denzel.
Triz, where do these two giants fall in your list?
With no particular order, I think they both are top 5.
Okay.
But they, yeah.
Okay. So there's been a lot of talk about Denzel not being playing himself.
You said Denzel playing himself? That's what he does.
I don't know if they're rage baiting, but I'm seeing a lot of videos online where people are commenting, Denzel is just playing himself. He has no versatility. And I think I understand what they're trying to get at. Whereas, Denzel is not, he's not transforming. He's not changing his voice as often. He has done it.
But I mean, if you run through his filmography, from one film to the next, what drastic changes are required from the characters that he's playing in each film?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and that's always been my argument because he's he's a theater actor and that's kind of his foundation. And that's the approach. It's like, what can I bring of myself to this character? But being fully present, knowing the motivations, what's driving the character, having all of that live within your body. You don't need to come out here and, put on a dialect, change your posture or whatever. You can just be.
I think a lot of the people that say that be the ones that just watch those videos on social media where he say, I guarantee it in a lot of different movies or something, because there's no way you can watch his body of work like Lloyd was saying and think that.
No.
There's just absolutely no way.
You watch Malcolm X and Training Day. Those are two different people.
Right, that's what I mean. That's what I was getting ready to ask y'all. If you take different films that he's done, you put one on one end of the spectrum and one on the other. Complete, or drastic change between the two. Which ones would those be for Denzel? Right, obviously him as or in Preacher's Wife, versus The Equalizer.
Yeah.
They're two completely different fucking characters.
Dudley was not out there hunting niggas
you
down.
know what I'm saying? And it's he was exactly, warm, charming, inviting, charismatic as he needed to be as Dudley. And then he's lethal, vengeful, whatever, as whatever he needed to be in The Equalizer. So he definitely has some versatility. But do I think it's to the level of a Jamie Foxx, where we've seen him as Buns in the romance movie of the year for Triz over there, in Booty Call, and then we've seen him as Ray Charles. We've seen him as the DA in Law Abiding Citizen.
Yeah.
So he's got range, versatility, I think a notch or two above what we've seen Denzel do.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's because Denzel just likes staying within his wheelhouse and doing what he knows he's comfortable with, or those are just the roles that people send him. I have no idea why. Yeah. Because do I think, now it's funny when I'm getting ready to say, do I think Denzel could have been Buns in Booty Call? What would that have looked like?
That would have been hilarious, dog. Just singing.
I would love to see
so now, right? So you take Jamie and put him as Alonzo in Training Day, but you take motherfucker Jones from Horrible Bosses, but just add a little bit more seriousness than the comedy aspect. Could he pull off a dirty cop? 100%. I mean, look at him in
Bait.
No, the joint he did with T.I. Fuck, I'm drawing a blank on the name of it. They were cops.
T.I.?
Yeah. And oh man, this is where it's gonna have to get cut and edited and shit.
I didn't know they did a film together.
Yeah.
Me either.
I just can't think of the name of it right now. And he's undercover. T.I. and the other guy, the white guy, Jesus Christ, they're dirty. Gabrielle Union is his wife. They got a son. Oh man, y'all see, I'll be watching Jamie shit. Dog.
I see, because I'm like, this does not ring a bell at all.
And then I can't even use Wikipedia the right fucking way.
Yeah, I'm drawing blanks over here.
Let me see if I can find something.
Look at him in Baby Driver. He was phenomenal in that. Where the fuck is his filmography? Yeah, Tristan, you gonna have to.
Sleepless.
Was it Sleepless? Is that the name of it? Yep, that's the one. Okay, so if you look,
I didn't see that.
If you watch him in that, oh man, you remember
it
now?
I remember seeing it.
You remember it? So I really think Jamie could carry whatever genre, whatever character type, archetype, character arc. I don't think there's anything he can't deliver on. I'm not saying Denzel can't, but I have a little bit more of a reservation of him in a role like Buns, like we just talked about, or even the joint he did with Neil Long, Held Up. Yeah. I don't know if I necessarily see that for Denzel.
I can see that. And okay, so if we're saying that Jamie, I think we're all agreeing Jamie's more versatile. Yeah. I mean, he's proven that he's more versatile.
Right.
Would you say that Denzel has more iconic performances? Because granted, with everything that you said, when I think of Jamie, I think of Ray, obviously. I think of Django. Those might be the only two that I would say are iconic. Whereas you can stop somebody on the street, anybody on the street, and say, have you seen these two performances? And more than likely they'll say yes. Or they'll have like high praise for it.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. I think you valid with that one, that Denzel definitely has more iconic. And when we're speaking iconic, we're always talking about to the culture, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I don't disagree with that.
Because Denzel, we got Malcolm X,
Training Day.
I'm putting Frank Lucas in there.
Definitely got to put American Gangster in there.
Even John Q.
Remember the Titans?
Right. Equalizer. Robert McCall or whatever his name is. So Okay, so we're dealing with 100%. Versatility versus, I don't know what the word would be. Iconicism.
Bam.
There we go. If it's not a word, it's a word today. Yeah, I think for me, Denzel is obviously top of my list. I always talk about Denzel. Jamie has surprised me over the years because, like I said, I've always kind of doubted. He's always just kind of been the comedic relief, the goofball, but when he does step into the dramatic realm, he's just as powerful. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, he's definitely up there. I hope that he continues to, pop up in films. I know things kind of slowed down for him the past few years, but I'm hoping, to see him come back strong. I saw a report that the studio was trying to make a Django Zorro crossover movie. I guess there's a comic book that Quentin Tarantino wrote, and they trying to turn that into a movie.
Nobody wants that.
I was like, what? I guess I have to see the comic book to understand, but yeah, it was kind of out there. But no, I definitely want Jamie to come back and do his thing. I would like to see them do a movie. I would love to see what that would do a movie look like.
Something kind of like Denzel and Mark Wahlberg did with Two Guns. I would like to see something like that. Mm-hmm. With them too. Not necessarily anything, involving law enforcement, police, detectives, shit like that, but just where them two are paired.
But see, I wouldn't mind seeing like a story like Heat where you have the good guy and the bad guy and they're going after you. Like them two, man, that'd be crazy.
That would The Departed.
Yeah.
You put them two at the top of come on.
Yeah. Bro. Yeah. Well, we got to get on that because Denzel only got like 5 more, he said. Yeah. So, and then he up out of there.
Boy.
All right, gentlemen, let's break this down.
Let's break it down.
Let's break this down. As always, our first category is character believability. Do you believe the person exists? Does the character feel natural or performative? Are their reactions truthful within the world of the film? Do they stay consistent with the character's background and motivations? We got Ray Charles and Alonzo Harris. How are we supposed to do this?
It's tough, it's bro. Funny
because we have a real figure,
right,
mm-hmm. versus a real figure in black cinema, right?
Yeah.
Because goddamn, honestly, this one is. I got to get this one to top.
I was just going to say, hold on, let me stop right now.
How are you going to pick?
Because we cannot tie. Because this is one where it feels like you can almost call a tie down the fucking line, right? Like this is what happened when you put two juggernauts against each other. This is what happens. But somebody has to have an edge. We cannot have any ties. It's not going to be a tie down the board. No, we're not taking any ties. No ties. We're not taking any ties. Not on it. We can't. We just can't.
Okay.
We're not taking any ties. You have to decide.
Okay.
You have to decide.
You go
start us off.
Okay. No problem. So if it's on me, obviously we saw the work Jamie did with Ray as Ray. Close your eyes. It is Ray. Probably surprising to y'all. I'm going to give the edge to Denzel simply because I feel like I could run into Alonzo. Like he made that character so real. That nigga somewhere out here. You know what I'm saying? I know Ray Charles existed. I know he walked this earth. There's no way you just created that and was so consistent with everything about this individual. That man exists. You drew from something. That's how it feels. I'm going to give the slight edge in this one to Denzel.
Now I'm shocked, nigga. But I get it.
Because, you had everything. You got to sit with Ray. Yeah. You got to, watch interviews of Ray, watch performances of Ray. There is nothing you can watch on Alonzo Harris that'll give you something like that to make you watch. And then this is something I try not to do, but for this is what also gives it more credit. I don't try to look at other projects that these actors are in and compare. But when you look at other characters Denzel has played, nothing has come close to who Alonzo is or what he is. You've never seen anything that would give way to make you think he could be that. And he did that. Slight
especially
edge
when
Denzel.
especially when it came out.
Slight edge.
And
you know what I'm saying?
I think that's what pushed him over the edge, and I think is the reason why he won the Oscar was because
slight edge Denzel for me.
What?
Because again, and just to put an emphasis on why me saying slight edge Denzel is up there, I don't think you get a 1-to-1 better performance than what Jamie did as Ray when we're speaking of biopics. But that was some street niggas biopic. And slight edge to Denzel.
That was a great breakdown as to why he got it. So I'm going to piggyback that and give it to Denzel.
This is kind of where I was leading because I was like, at first I was just like, tie. It's a tie because I've mentioned before when Ray came out, I didn't think Jamie had this in him. But the same can be said for Denzel with Training Day. It was just like, I think the movie he made right before Training Day was Remember the Titans. If that ain't the most wholesome, just you
understand what I'm saying?
He solved racism with football. Wow. You know, but I mean, Denzel's scenes felt so lived in that it's hard to, and not to say that Jamie doesn't. It's just, I think I think I might as well stop. I mean, you kind of nailed it on the head there, but I feel it doesn't feel right picking one though.
Right. And that's why I had to jump in there and say we can't do ties. That's the easy way out because I would have easily really tied it.
I wish these were two biopics.
It would have
it would make it easier because what Jamie is doing is like top tier.
Yeah.
You don't get a biopic performance better than this. It's top tier. The stammer, just all the little inflections,
everything,
and then on top of that, he sings just like him, mimics the young Ray Charles who was trying to mimic Nat King Cole and nailed it. So does that mean he can play Nat King Cole?
You understand what I'm saying?
Probably could.
But the diner scene with Denzel and Jake,
and that's when we first meet him.
And you're just like, you know everything about him right then and there. So, okay. Denzel.
I think Denzel gets that one, man.
All right.
He said no ties, so we got
no ties. We're not doing any ties.
And that's this round and the championship. There's no ties. No more ties.
Be any ties. I don't think there's gonna be any ties next round. I would, Okay. I'm just being real. This should have been the championship. This is like when the Lakers and the Celtics meet. Well, I guess they wouldn't meet, but if they were to meet, right?
If they were on the same,
same conference. Emotional range and depth. Now we're getting into the weeds of things. Okay, you went first. Let me. Unless you just eager.
I can go.
Okay, go.
For emotional range.
Emotional range and depth. Does the performance have layers? Can they convey complex or conflicting emotions? Are the emotional moments earned or forced? Do they have subtle shifts, with their eyes, pauses, tone that deepen the story?
Well, one nigga had no eyes in the movie.
Damn.
No, but
see, he shouldn't have went first.
No, for this one, I am going to lean towards Jamie, just for all the emotions that Ray had to go through and everything he had to overcome from, losing the eyesight at an early age to having the flashbacks to where he's, feeling his little brother's, body in the water and things like that, and still maintaining everything in the real world. I think he did such a phenomenal job with that I got to give it to Jamie.
Yeah. I would agree. As much as I love Denzel, I think what he's doing and what's required of him is not as emotionally complex, if you will, and that's no slight. It's just he's kind of,
that was the character.
He's on a mission.
Yeah. Yep.
He's got 24 hours. His life is on the line.
100%.
You don't have there are no other emotions.
No room
this
for
is
emotion.
It. There's no room, right? This is it. And like you mentioned, Ray, he's dealing with childhood trauma, and we're watching him like self-medicate, and he's, dealing with all these different women, and the fact that we don't get access to his eyes, which are the windows to the soul, and he's still able to convey all of that. And like I said, even the little stammer, the moment that comes to mind is when B confronts him about those drugs, and he says, "When I walk out of here, I walk out alone in the dark." Woo! Yeah. Ooh! And the way he delivered it, yeah.
Y'all got no argument out of me. I mean, and it is essentially exactly what you said. There wasn't a great, depth of emotion that was provided by Alonzo. He was on top. He was being manipulative, tactical, and he wasn't really trying to sway you to feel bad for him. And not even necessarily like, Ray was trying to sway you, but naturally you did. The man's blind. He's navigating life from a boy to a man. So you have these emotional, roller coaster that you take with him as seeing him progress through life. You don't have that with Denzel and Alonzo. You're just watching the man, and it just seemed like he's just this tough as nails, no bullshit, get straight to it guy. Initially, we don't know his ass is on the line about some money and what he's after. And, we find that out later. So you just think he just, this narcotics cop out in the street, and he just got to be tough to survive out here. And then later we learn, bro, he was on a mission. He had to play all these games and move all these, pieces
right.
to execute this plan to save his life, which he obviously was unsuccessful in doing. But there wasn't any emotional pull.
Yeah.
Because, and I don't know if there was for anybody else who watched it, but I don't think you really felt bad, if you did feel bad for him at all, is until he got shot the fuck up. Other than that, you didn't really feel any different. Either you like, yeah, he riding, he doing his thing. Otherwise, or you like, man, he an asshole. So one side of the fence or the other.
Right.
I didn't feel bad when he got shot up, but I didn't cheer.
Lie. When he was watching Jake walk off with the money, and he yelling for him and shit, and he hobbling and got shot in the ass and bleeding and sweating, and I'm like, damn, man, he done.
He done.
he done. I'm like, damn, so it's over with Alonzo, man. So that was the emotional pull there. But other than that, he didn't need a great depth of emotional range in that film.
No.
So that's an easy one for Jamie.
Okay, so we're tied. So this is I think is a good time. Can you see? Well, you kind of mentioned you said Jamie and Sleepless was almost in that realm of Alonzo. Can you see these two flip-flop, and what would that do for the respective films?
So, and I'm gonna jump right into that because the Book of fucking Eli, no, I cannot see them swapping. I can't. It would piss me off just because of the Book of Eli. And I'm gonna stop right there because I think you need to watch the Book of Eli before we come back in this bitch and do another episode. I know
he's blind.
You need to watch the Book.
I'm guessing he's not a good blind. My God.
No, it ain't even that he a good blind or not. It's the way they drop the bomb on motherfuckers though. And that's what. Just watch it, okay? Because that's how we gonna open up the next one. We gonna talk about that shit because I really want to know. You want to talk about some shit that pissed me off? But no, I don't think. I can't see Denzel playing Ray Charles, but I could definitely see Jamie playing Alonzo.
And if Jamie is playing Alonzo, does it lose anything? Does it gain anything?
I don't think it loses anything. I'm not gonna say it only loses something because all my mind knows is what Denzel did. Mm-hmm. And in that world, I think Denzel was by himself. Like Malcolm X. You can get somebody else to play Malcolm X. Phenomenal job. It's not going to be what Denzel did. So I don't loses by the default of you coming behind Denzel.
I think if you put Jamie as Alonzo, and like I said, I haven't seen Sleepless. I haven't seen all of Jamie's filmography, but I think there's just like a raw intensity that there might be something left on the table if Jamie does it. And like I said, maybe some of these other performances that I haven't seen, he's tapped into that, just kind of like this unhinged in energy, is the only way I could think to describe it. But I think Denzel could pull off Ray. I don't, and I'm not saying it to the same extent.
He definitely won't come close to what Jamie did.
I think if he's as committed as he was to Malcolm X, I think he's gonna pull something.
See, those are two, like, that's two ends of the spectrum.
I'm saying if he's as committed, meaning, he's going to dive deep, watch footage, work with, a dialect coach, put his all into it. I think he's gonna give us something. He's not buying it.
No,
I mean, it's tough,
I don't
bro.
know. Okay, so let me ask this, because I could see Jamie as Alonzo. I would have a hard time buying Denzel as Ray if, without having the first, edition of the movie, and it was each other in those movies. Do you think they win?
I don't think Jamie would win an Oscar for playing Training Day.
I don't think Denzel would win playing Ray either.
I think he wins if he gives a good performance. I think he wins because that is, and that is a Oscar vehicle, a biopic. That's what they gravitate towards. I think the only reason why Denzel won was partly because he was Denzel, who never played like a bad guy.
Right.
And then he flipped the script.
But at that time, look at what Jamie did before that, because I would think that Jamie would win for Training Day before Denzel won for Ray.
I think so too. Simply just because of the character. Denzel, I think you could throw the shades on him, give him the look. He could do the swaying and the stammering and all this. He's not going to have the vocals for it. He ain't going to have the voice inflections and the impersonation factor that Jamie did.
He might get close.
He's not going to do that.
He might get close.
Did you see the British accent that motherfucker?
Well, that's British.
All right, but I'm just saying British. That's not really his name. Al
Pacino couldn't.
And you said it yourself that he doesn't change his voice in any role. You can turn on Denzel's filmography and just run it. Close your eyes from movie to movie to movie. If you take some of the most non-recognizable lines, would you be able to know what movie it's from?
No,
you're not, right? Because it sounds like him in every single film. He's him. To the point we were talking earlier, they say that, that's one of the, little bit of pushback he gets is that he plays himself. At least vocally, the vocal performance of it, that would have been a great deficit from the Ray picture if Jamie couldn't mimic that voice. Right?
And that's why I said, I think if he approached it with the same dedication that he had Malcolm X, because Malcolm X doesn't, he does something to his voice. He may not lean all the way or can go all the way like a Jamie can in mimicking, but he does change like his
cadence.
His cadence.
So that's but that's important and then when you play guys like Steve,
Malcolm. Is it Biko?
He did Stephen Biko?
Biko, yes. Now there he did a full-on accent and it was believable.
What was that in?
That was his first nomination, Cry Freedom.
I gotta watch that.
But
so that's why I think he's shown me moments where he could do it. So I'm like, I don't know if it's just how you were prepping, if you had the time, or if this was just a picture that popped up and you like, I got it, and then the next day we were on set, that type of thing. So that's why I'm like, I feel like he can muster up something. And then on top of that, so many like biopic performances get praised and they're not coming halfway to what Jamie did. So that's why I said, I think if Denzel gave a good performance, they would be like, oh, he did Ray. Great. Here you go. Here's the Oscar.
And
I don't think
that's
that's the same thing with Jamie, because especially if you go back, if Jamie does Training Day in 2001, up until that point, he's a stand-up comedian. TV, he's done a lot of TV. He just starts getting into movies. If Jamie does Training Day in 2001 with Ethan Hawke, neither one of them gets nominated. The movie is just a cultural hit. Neither one of them gets nominated.
I don't know.
We have movies like that where it's
Jamie did Ali in 2001. Jamie did Bait and Held Up in 2000. He did Any Given Sunday in 99.
Yeah,
I mean, so he had some work behind him.
He was starting, but the one of the main reasons why Denzel won for this was because he had been doing it for like almost 20 years.
Yeah, he had been doing it for a long time
and had been getting nominated, and people felt like,
and that's what I mean.
He's getting robbed. And so that pushed him over the edge.
Because, and I know I stand on it, the Academy doesn't give a fuck about us. Right? So they're never going to really award us when we deserve it. Mm-hmm. Not to say that he didn't deserve it for Training Day, but they're never going to award us in, when it's warranted, when we should have got it. And then we get these pity awards or whatever you want to call it, or we'll highlight this part of the culture because that's how we view you anyway. That's where some of those awards come from. But I still stand firm in believing that Jamie as Alonzo in Training Day would have at least gotten some talk. He could have played the shit out of that role well enough that it would have, the story alone, just the whole thing, the movie was like that. Like I said, you don't understand what's at stake until we get to the end. To me, that's a good movie because it keeps you like on your head. What's going on? I think that story alone, combined with Jamie's talent and his range, I think Jamie would have been a phenomenal Alonzo. And I could be biased, but I really believe he would have been a phenomenal Alonzo.
I think so too.
Much better than Denzel being Ray.
I think so too.
I would give you that.
But Denzel did add a lot to that character, so we would have to see what Jamie brought.
It's some of the most quotable, memorable moments came from Denzel.
100%. 100%. But Jamie's got quotables in Django. Like, depending on the movie, everybody's got quotables, things. He's got quotables from, Romance of the Year. So he's got, from movie to movie, they've all... I'm not saying that Jamie wouldn't give a good performance. I think if you take Denzel out of Training Day, I don't care who you put in that movie, the Oscars don't touch it. And that's that's not saying anything against the movie. I get what you're saying.
The Oscars.
I get what
so
you're
let's
saying.
take the Oscars out of the equation, right? Because we're getting ready to award the what?
The Poitiers.
So would the Poitiers recognize Jamie performance in what he could or couldn't have done?
The Poitiers does.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah.
We do.
No, 100%.
I really and to me that's all that matters.
Yeah,
right?
and that's, I was trying to get
follow you
across
now.
the point that
I got you.
It
made perfect sense.
I'm not gonna disagree with that at all.
Right.
For sure.
All right, we're tied 1-1. Delivery, voice, and dialogue. How do they use their voice? I'm not going to say anything else.
Get the broom.
Because we were just talking about this.
That's Jamie.
Yeah. It's Jamie.
It's Jamie. No question about it. You close your eyes, it's Ray Charles.
It's
end
Ray.
Of story.
Inflection, cadence, the is it called the stammer? I'm gonna make it. Yeah, the little stammer.
Whatever he had going on for sure.
All of that.
Like Jamie Foxx was not in that movie.
No.
Right.
Jamie Foxx was not in the
Ray.
movie.
It was Ray. It was Ray.
That's an easy
Ray.
one. That's an easy one. That's Ray.
Yeah.
Physicality and presence. What is the body doing? Facial expressions, postures, gestures. Do they transform physically for the role?
See, it almost sets itself up as another easy one for Ray. You definitely could give Denzel some love for what he did. And I think, just to go back to what you said earlier, you wish they were both biopics, because that would make it a little bit more of a
it's
fairer
easier,
competition, in a sense, because we saw this individual and we saw this individual become this individual.
Right,
100% no missteps. So for some of these categories, it's like he did that to a T. He did that to a T.
Yeah.
He didn't necessarily have to do that. He gave us a character that we believed 100% through and through. But again, if you close your eyes, am I watching American Gangster? Am I watching Deja Vu?
Yeah.
Am I watching Out of Time?
You have something to measure against. That's what was so nice about the Forrest Whitaker, Jamie Foxx
Yep,
matchup,
for sure.
because you can compare. The way that this category is described, you have to go with Jamie. He's the one doing
everything.
Yes,
all
everything,
that stuff.
all of it.
Everything.
You know, yeah.
Well, now just sound like my boy going to the ship.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. We literally just said Denzel is he's not transforming. He's bringing himself to the role, and it's great. It's powerful.
So the thing is,
you know what's funny?
Jamie showed up as Ray. Denzel showed up as Denzel, but left us Alonzo.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the difference in both performances. Jamie showed up as Ray. All we knew and saw was Ray. Denzel hit the screen. We know it's Denzel. But boom, we now have Alonzo for the rest of our lives. I think that's, if that makes sense to y'all, I think that's the difference between the performances.
I will say though, Denzel in this role at this point in his career, talking about physicality and presence, he brings this swagger that he
100%
displayed like this quite before.
100%.
So I will give him that. That was the transformation, if you will. It was like, wait, hold on, who is this?
Right.
Straight
it was
up.
a different side of Denzel. That we got to see.
The walk was a little bit different. It was like, all right,
definitely.
Okay. Yeah, true.
No, no notes.
No notes.
All right, okay. I think the rest of these are kind of a little bit more level.
Okay.
Because it's 2-1 right now, right?
It's
3? What did we
3-1.
3-1.
3-1.
3-1. Jamie. This next category is chemistry with other actors. You know, do the relationships feel real? Do the scenes feel dynamic or flat? Is there tension, warmth, conflict where needed? Do actors elevate each other? I'm going to go first. I'm going to go Denzel on this one. Because I feel like when you say do the actors elevate each other, Denzel, and you can YouTube footage of Ethan Hawke talking about his 100%. Experience, and he's literally like elevating Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke got a nomination because of Denzel. I'm gonna just say it.
Not much more elevation you can do.
And it's funny
if Denzel is not in the movie, Ethan Hawke gives the same performance. You can substitute Jamie Foxx. You can substitute Samuel L. Jackson. Ethan Hawke does not get nominated.
It's funny because
I stand on it.
Lloyd said when Ethan Hawke's character was like, "I'll do whatever you want me to do," he said that was Ethan Hawke.
Yeah,
he said
that was Ethan Hawke.
That wasn't Jake.
Yeah, that was Ethan Hawke.
And he even talks about in those moments where they're doing the improv, he's just like, as an actor, he's like, I have to step my game up because I don't know what he's gonna throw at me, and I'd be damned if I'm gonna fuck up a great Denzel moment,
right?
Because I couldn't react to it. Or I didn't fucked up my line.
Yeah.
So I think that goes to Denzel for that reason. And there's the way that the movie is positioned. It's about their relationship. The movie hinges on their interaction, the tension 100%. Between them. So it kind of sets it up for a Denzel win here. And Jamie, as great as he is, he's the showcase for Ray. People come in and out. They're doing great performances, but I think he's like the sun, and people are kind of orbiting around him, in and out the door. The women are coming in and out the door.
Yeah.
But we're left with Jake and Alonzo. And yeah, I mean,
y'all making some damn good arguments though.
Was you thinking Jamie at first?
No, I was trying. No, I was trying
to decide not to tie it. Felt
these are amazing performances. But then when you look at, you just broke down the whole Jake thing. We don't even got to touch that. Even the one guy where they double back, what was it, Roger?
Roger.
Even that. The scene where they shot him, he's talking to everybody like, you want to go home or you want to, all of that. Like, then you go to Ray, which was great, but it's like him and, Clifton Powell. Like, it didn't change anything. Clifton Powell was Clifton Powell. Terrence Howard was, Terrence Howard.
I forget Terrence Howard.
Because it sounded like you kind of.
But I'm not saying that they didn't do a phenomenal job, but there wasn't any, okay, this is here, I'm gonna bring it here. Their characters were, they weren't stagnant, but they stayed within the lines of what they.
Well, I think it goes back to, because in Ray, Jamie's the main focus, not his relationships with these people, him as a person. And so, I mean, I feel like the most dynamic relationship we get in Ray is him and Regina King's character, I forget, Margie. Him and Margie. That's the most dynamic interaction we get. But otherwise, it is the Jamie Foxx show. I feel like Regina King was the only performance where I walked out and was like, oh, she really came for it. Everybody else, I was like, they were great as I expected them to be. But it was like, oh, she had a moment where she really tried to step up and meet Jamie where he's at. She went at him. And like I said, it's not a dig at any of the actors in Ray, because there are some great actresses, some great performances. They do what the movie requires of them. And it's not to still focus, still shine. So it really is just on a technicality. Training Day was designed for them to battle.
But also I think, and I don't think either you touched on this part, is if you did any research or studying, or maybe you're just a music buff and you know the history of music and things of that nature, if you know the story of Ray Charles, that's what it is, right? So you can expect certain things. You weren't shocked by anything. Nothing was like, oh, that's not how, it read how his life read.
Mm-hmm.
This film, everything was, from scene to scene to scene was brand new. It was unexpected. There were no expectations of what was to come. It was nothing like, we knew the end of Ray before we got there. We had no idea the ride we were going on in Training Day. So, and the way, as you said, him and I lost his damn name, Jake.
Mm-hmm.
As they, from the diner to the car rides to him, just like I said, manipulating him the whole way, and he's buying into this is a full grown ass man that I'm a blue blood at heart. I'm a cop through and through, but I'm smoking PCP. I'm drinking this. But at the end, I still hold my shit together and I do what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
The scene that I always look at, I never knew Macy Gray was like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, dog,
she was about to, you know what I'm saying? What y'all doing over there looking pretty?
Mm-hmm.
Shoot this mother.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, just every scene, even when he came out of there slick after giving her the fucking Chinese food menu.
Yeah.
Just walked out of there, everything just felt intense and dynamic every moment of that film.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, easily on this one.
Yeah, no,
yeah. Okay, so yeah, Denzel he's making a comeback. He's fighting. He's putting up a fight. So we're going Denzel with chemistry with other actors. All right, this might be a tough one. Fit within the film. Does the performance match the movie? Is the acting style aligned with the tone of the film? Are they in the same movie as everyone else?
I'll start with this one.
Okay.
Going back to a point that Lloyd just said, we can see things about Ray Charles, and Denzel had to give us somebody that we didn't, and him fitting in, like, he shaped that entire unit, everything, top to bottom. He commanded he commanded everything. He was the quarterback. Mm-hmm. Told everybody what was going down. This is the play. This is how we gonna move, and and they follow suit. For me, Jamie, amazing with Ray Charles, but he had a timeline to follow, and it just kind of navigated through the life. I feel like with what Denzel was able to do, I think I got to give it to Denzel, just for what he did on screen within the story.
I'm gonna just come out the gate and say I'm giving this one to Jamie because it's a biopic and you have to follow the rules and the facts of this person's life and what took place, what didn't, and everything ran in accordance to what the life and career of Ray Charles was. This was a world that we didn't know. We 100%. Entered and we had no expectation, no guardrails of who fit, didn't fit, because you're in the jungle, you're over here in, LA doing your thing. It's a melting pot. There's so many different people. I can't tell you who fit, didn't fit. All the actors and their job of acting, that all was cohesive as a film. Mm-hmm. But as far as the storyline and everything, to me, it's hard to tip away from something that had guardrails and he didn't go outside the lines. Like we spoke about the Michael film earlier.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see that as true to form as it was. This is a biopic, and this man is missing 2 of his sisters. We don't get to, talk, you know what I'm saying? There's certain things that it didn't hit on. So was it accurate? No. It was not. There was an accuracy that was missed. Now, granted, some real historian could go pull out, well, in Ray, this, that, and the third. But to what I know and what I saw, the history of it was, par for the course. Yeah. So I have to give this one to Jamie and Ray.
This is a fun one. This is a fun one. We're actually having a battle because the last, man. Well, all of them.
It felt like you got
all of them. We've just been
slightish.
So 2 things come to mind. Like I do understand Lloyd's point with, for lack of a better word, meeting expectation. Mm-hmm. Especially in the wake of the whole Michael biopic. And obviously Jamie his performance fits the movie. I mean, it's the centerpiece of the movie. Mm-hmm. Denzel, his performance is damn near hijacks the movie because it's just so on fire. And what did I say?
He had to double check.
Man.
It's man. Tough. You know what? Because I think the best way I could put it is I feel like Jamie's performance fits the movie. I feel like Denzel's performance makes the movie. If that makes sense.
I'm not mad at that at all. But Jamie's fits the movie, but it also makes the movie.
Yeah, it does,
right?
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah.
So
it does.
For the character, you could say same for both of them actually, because once we learn the character, the plot, and everything, his performance fit the movie and it made the movie. Training Day and Denzel Alonzo. Same with, Ray over there. Right? Like you have these great expectations, but so for instance, referring back to Michael and what Jafar did, before the movie rolled, what expectations did we have? We didn't see Jafar mimicking Michael. We've seen Jamie Foxx impersonations of Ray before. So we had greater expectations. We didn't have that of Jafar. Mm-hmm. Did Jafar's performance make the movie? You know what I'm saying? Like however you felt about the movie and what you took away from it, did it make it?
It was the best part.
He was definitely the best part, but did it make the movie?
No. The movie was
Did it fit in the performance though? 100%. It fit the movie. He was Michael Jackson, definitely, to the best of his ability. And he did a phenomenal job at that, but it didn't make the movie. These two we're talking about, their performances made the movie. Mm-hmm. But there's got to be a slight edge, and I gave that to Jamie simply because we did have that, comparison. We had something to compare it against. And he hit that T for T. It's hard to say Denzel didn't do his job when you have nothing to measure it against.
Yeah.
So that's why I give the nod to, and hopefully persuaded my brother to my left.
It's, and it's one of those things where, Ray has meditative moments, and I think he navigates that so well. But then you got the live wire that is Denzel. I think I'm gonna have to go with Denzel on this.
Oh, I just knew he had a Ray win there.
Lloyd definitely need to be a politician because
I know, and it was
very persuasive.
And it was making sense. I
was like, damn, did I pick the wrong person?
The moment that I keep coming to is the King Kong bit, and I'm like,
phenomenal, fire, all improv,
and I don't even
get it.
I don't even know. Yeah, I think I have to give the edge to Denzel because those moments that he improv'd on set, and I'm sure Jamie did some improving, but these are famously known moments that he came up with in the moment because he was just so in it, makes the movie pop. So I'm gonna go with Denzel on that one.
I'm not even mad at it. I ain't gonna lie. It could have easily went either way.
Either way.
But I just feel like I'm gonna get that one to Jamie.
No, this one is tough.
So we are tied again. 3-3.
Damn, Denzel took the last two?
Yep.
Okay. Well, shit.
How many categories we got left?
1. Game 7.
Game 7. Game 7.
Game 7.
Winner takes all.
Risk and originality. Do they make bold choices? Is the performance unique or predictable? Did they reinterpret a familiar type of character?
Who jumping out there first?
I'll go first.
Nah, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm going to say, as far as risk, I think the risk, and y'all can say I'm biased, but I think the risk is greater on Jamie's side because we have something to measure it against. Denzel, we had nothing to measure it against. It's just how did we feel about it? And we were moved by it. We was like, damn, that was a great performance. He didn't have a mark to miss. Jamie did. I'm going to leave it at that. Jamie Foxx.
I have my pick. Do you have yours?
I'm still over here going back and forth. So
I don't.
All right, I'll say mine before you say yours.
I don't want to influence you because I've already had my pick. So if you're going back and forth.
So can you read the last category again for me?
A risk and originality. Do they make bold choices? Is the performance unique or predictable? Did they reinterpret a familiar type of character? I don't know why I put that last one. Do they make bold choices? Is the performance unique or predictable?
The thing that sticks out to this in me is about it being unique. Mm-hmm. And I really think that
ain't no fuck about it. That's why I stayed away from Unique. I'm gonna tell you the truth. That's why I stayed away from Unique. But go ahead.
No, because I mean, here's the thing: they both were unique, right? But I feel like one slightly edges.
Which one would that be, Sir Triz?
I got to give it to Jamie.
I was going with Jamie as well. The reason why, that's why I wanted you to wait, because I didn't want him to go Jamie and I go Jamie. Then it's like, well, it don't matter what you say.
It don't matter, right?
No, Jamie was like the uniqueness of it. Not even to cut you off, I apologize. What he did with it, because like, I mean, shit, we're in our 30s. You know what I'm saying? Ray Charles, what he did was incredible. It's like he still made it his own, even though he was playing Ray Charles.
Mm-hmm. See, here's the thing about the uniqueness, and this is why I stayed away from it, because to me, it's even easier to go Jamie, because there's only one Ray Charles. And then we saw the second coming, if you will, when Jamie played him. Alonzo was made out of thin air. It's a million street niggas running around out here. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We've seen a million, drug dealer movies, this, that, and the third, head honcho. Hell, Nino Brown was damn near Alonzo in a sense, right? Same walk, same pathway, same, power over a community and shit like that. So it's not necessarily a unique character there. That's why it's got to be the GOAT.
And that's why I was going with Jamie. Because, and this also goes back to why I don't think if you replace Denzel with a Jamie, with anybody else, that it gets the Oscar, because part of we've seen it happen.
We have.
Did Lorenz Tate win an Oscar for Menace to Society? Did anybody win an Oscar for? Did anybody win an Oscar in Boys in the Hood?
They shouldn't have. But that's what I'm saying. So, but now, like I just said, so Nino, you take Wesley. I don't know. Alonzo? I would love to see that. Wesley as Alonzo? Shit.
I would like to see that. I still don't think he wins the Oscar.
I don't know. I don't know if he wins, but nomination, come on.
I don't think he gets nominated.
Cancel this. Come on, man.
I don't think he gets nominated.
They might not, because the nigga don't pay his taxes, but other than that, I think.
So you really based the nomination off of the tenure as well as the job of acting?
I say the job of acting. The job of acting, because Wesley, you got to put Wesley to the top.
I'm not saying I would nominate these people.
The Academy.
Yeah,
I'm
talking about
see, that's
what
where I keep misconstruing. My fault.
The Academy is not going to shine that light.
Because Wesley would beat that role up.
He would kill
Wesley.
it.
Now, you want to talk about versatility? Fuck out of here.
He would kill it. Right. He would kill it. And a lot of our actors have killed many a roles. The reason why Denzel got the gold for it, or, got all this attention outside of the culture, was because of who he was and what his career was up until that point. And I mean, there was only probably Morgan Freeman out of the other black actors that was really working at his level, on both sides, or whatever you want to call it. So, that's why. But it's not a unique character. It was just unique in the sense that, Denzel is playing a character like this. We've seen this character before.
We've seen this character. Mm-hmm.
But it was like, okay, we're going to watch Denzel's take on it. 100%. And as great as it was, as phenomenal as it was, I mean, he almost won this battle. It's not new. It's not earth-shattering, like, he reinvented the wheel here. Whereas with Jamie,
he set the standard for
a biopic.
Yeah. He really did. I mean,
he set the standard for
sorry to the ones that came before him, and sorry to the ones that come after. Because that's it.
That's it.
I mean,
if you don't do that, you did not do your job.
He was Ray.
He was Ray.
He was Ray. And just the little nuances that he layered in. Attention to detail was impeccable. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would say. And then on top of that, if we look at risk, I don't think there was no risk for Denzel.
Yeah, there was no risk.
If the movie had flopped, they would have been like, oh, okay. He did some little crime drama with some unknown director.
Yep.
Because I think that was Fuqua's second movie after, or maybe second or third.
I think after Bait, yeah.
Bait was his first one?
I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he did Replacement Killers.
He did.
So
you're right.
So it was like his third movie.
Yeah,
so he's just getting started. So that was the risk, taking a risk on an up and coming director. But at this point,
if Jamie misses on this, does he get another leading role?
Oh, for sure, but not of that caliber, not that box office. Yeah, he definitely.
I mean, that's what I mean. Like where they putting all the chips on him.
Yeah, I think the potential for Jamie to fail. The Jamie's risk, if he had failed, I think alters his career a lot more than if Denzel in Training Day failed. Agreed. It would have just been like, oh well. He tried his hand at a bad guy. He doesn't need to. We won't give him no more bad guys.
Right.
We might not get American Gangster or something like that.
It's the following movies that I think did a greater harm than even Felon and Ray would have done for Jamie. Going with Stealth and Jarhead to follow up Ray. You know what I'm saying?
And it made sense, especially Jarhead. Jarhead was an Oscar play. It was an Academy Award-winning director, about war. They love war movies. So I understood why he went that way. It made sense. I mean? All right, gentlemen. So we have our winner. I'm not surprised, but
Game 7.
I thought it would be Jamie, but I didn't think it would be this.
I didn't know what y'all was coming with. I knew I probably was gonna have more, categories leading towards Jamie, but I didn't know how y'all was gonna play it.
I think I think the Denzel performance is just so much fun. It's fun to watch him just go all out.
So let me ask. Obviously, we have the winner is Jamie Foxx. But if it was Jamie and Ray versus Denzel Malcolm, would it be a different conversation?
Absolutely.
I think we need to have that conversation outside of this tournament.
Absolutely.
I mean, to the point where you think the winner would be flipped?
For me, yes.
I mean, because that's your one versus one. Yeah,
I'm like my 1A and 1B of film performances is Denzel and Malcolm X and Al Pacino in The Godfather Part 2.
Okay, so yeah, for sure.
Is it a clean sweep or does Ray still?
Well, no. Hold on, no. We're not gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that because we said we're gonna discuss it.
I don't know if it's a clean sweep, but
we'll do that.
We'll get into that.
Yeah,
we'll get into that. Y'all put some noise and some respect on Jamie's name. Yeah, man. Y'all know what I'm saying. Going to the chip.
I wish this would have played out where Denzel was higher up in the bracket, and then they could have
met. Because this would have been,
this would have been a great,
had the chip.
Yeah, 7 game series,
7
at
games.
the end for the ship
at the buzzer.
At the buzzer, that would have been iconic. But so Jamie moves on to the championship round,
100%,
where he'll face off Michael B. Jordan from Sinners. So, all right. Well, please join us for that battle. Jamie Foxx versus Michael B. Jordan. Winner takes the first Poitier Award for Best Lead Performance. Please drop us a comment. Let us know who you would have voted for. Did you agree with Lloyd's takes? He was kind of riding for Jamie. Me and Triz, we were up and down all around, but who would have gotten your vote? Jamie Foxx and Ray or Denzel Washington in Training Day? Please let us know. And until next time, remember, movies are when dreams and magic meet reality. Peace.